Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let us march on till victory
Yes, yes.
is won. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, about a day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won, is won, is won.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
We was just blessed with Johanna and Steve McCoy. They had the pleasure. They had the pleasure to also present that at one of the Trailblazers games. So it was just a blessing for them to fly in and be a part of this and let us capture that moment to share with this moment that we have here. I just want to take this time to welcome everyone to another edition of Straight Talk TV. And we say here, Straight Talk is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people, you, to the people. And today, whatever time you're viewing us, and whatever part of the state you're viewing us, you are going to be extremely blessed. We have folks on here, people on here, whichever terminology you use, that have traveled a journey that we can say a miraculous journey.
Yeah.
They have touched so many lives, and they're going to touch you tonight. So I'm going to right into the program. Without further ado, I want to bring the lady that I had the opportunity to meet. She shared what had been poured into her. She shared her gift. She shared the person that touched her life and told me the story. I said, whatever Straight Talk can do, let us know. Miss Belinda, please come and share a little bit about who you are and what you have brought to us this evening.
Yes. My name is Belinda Olive Beltran.
Yes.
And Bobby was my younger brother. And on December the 4th, 1985, I was 35 years ago, almost 36 years now, he became Oregon's first heart transplant donor. But my mother was the driving force behind that decision.
Yes.
Because my brother, he was shot in the head. He was brain dead at Emmanuel Hospital, and the doctors asked my mother, would she be willing to donate my brother's organs? Because there was a gentleman at the time, we did not know who he was, but it was Wesley Merrill, Virginia's husband. They said that he did not have very much longer to live, and he was in need of a heart. And my mother said, I need to go talk to my father. And they thought my mother was talking about her earthly father.
Right, come on.
But she wanted to go and pray
Yes.
to her heavenly father.
Yeah.
So she went, they took her to a room. It just took her a few minutes. She came back and said, yes.
Yes.
If my son can help someone else live longer, take whatever you need to help someone else live longer.
Amen.
I want everybody to join me with a clap praise for Belinda's mama, because that was a blessing. That was a blessing. We're going to put a clap praise for her. Miss Belinda, who is sitting next to you?
This is my lovely daughter, LaShanti Turner.
Miss Shante, please come on and share a little bit. with us?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes.
My name is LaShanti Turner, and this beautiful woman
Yes.
is my mother. And we share grandchildren together.
Okay.
And I want to say, and that other beautiful woman that is on here is Virginia. And Virginia is my auntie.
Okay.
And we are currently, the beautiful thing about the relationship, we happen to be in the home of, I want to say we happen to be in the home of the daughter. You bought this home from Virginia's daughter.
Yes, in 1995.
Oh my.
Right?
1995, yes.
Yeah. And then me and
We
my
keep everything in the family.
Go ahead. Yeah, I like that. Go on, Miss Virginia. Yeah.
right. And then I recently purchased, well, me and my significant other purchased this house from my mother like 7-8 years ago.
Oh my goodness. And there's another gentleman on the phone. I'll tell you, I've been in board meetings. I'm on the phone. I'm calling people, chair people. He said his name is Coach John. Coach John, share a little bit about who you are and how you connected to this gift.
Well, I'm the oldest brother of Belinda Beltran, and we remember that day vividly. In fact, I'm a contractor also. I've been doing floor covering for over 40 years. And I was on the, I received a text message at the time that this happened, and downtown Portland, I was measuring up an area for carpet, and I got a text message about come to the hospital, Emmanuel Hospital, your brother had been shot. And I was hoping that wherever he was shot, it was not in the head. That's exactly where it was at.
Yeah,
so when I got off the elevator, people were crying and stuff like that. And so I didn't know, I felt like it was kind of over. And so went to the area where he was at, and it was interesting because he was in a vertical position on the table. His heart was beating, but his brain was dead. And so this whole situation was very emotional for the entire family. It was very emotional even for many people in the city, because a decision had to be made about another person that was on another vertical table somewhere else at the University of Oregon Health Sciences.
Yeah.
And so we had two vertical people land in a not in a horizontal position, not a vertical, horizontal position. One needing a heart and one had a heart that was still beating. And so it was a major decision that was made, but at the same time, it was a revelation of something that was done also, because there was a black young man and there was a white man, and because of the mere fact that he had a heart that could be used, it was a major revelation to everybody about, to a certain extent, race relationships, because it really wasn't about race relationship at that time. It was a time that a person that could use a heart from one person and go to somebody else, and that heart match and it produced life for the other person. And that was major. That was major. That made a lot of people think about race relationships and the ability to help somebody when somebody else was going out, somebody else was going on. And that was a very beautiful time. So it was very powerful at the same time.
Right. And this lady that, and I went that way for a particular reason, Miss Virginia. Because we have the one side, but we have the other side that received the heart. Now, if y'all just hold with me, Miss Virginia, I want our engineer to play the video so we can capture this moment, and then we're going to come back to Miss Virginia because she's a special lady too, and she has something to share about this whole gift. Brother engineer, can you pull up the video, sir?
I know this is a tough time to try to make any type of decision, but it, for you to donate your son's organs, and so there's another man that's in a hospital that he don't have very much longer to live. Well, he could have died suddenly at any time, but certainly not more than a matter of months. And we were very much concerned about his survival in the next few weeks. So we got this heart just in time. It was a heart that was in excellent shape because as soon as its blood supply was restored, it began to fibrillate coarsely, and then with one shot came back into a normal rhythm. Just took off and maintained the circulation without faltering ever since. In our laboratory experience, it always takes a little while for the heart to recover, and this was extremely rapid. So that donation of organs will be considered more seriously in bereaved families.
Formed after. I'm trying to get the donor's family to do their side of it, and we possibly got a gal that's going to show me together.
But this is our first an operation that we were quite ready for and had rehearsed, extensively. Transplant. Was he able to do all the things he wanted to do?
He could do anything and everything that he wanted to do after the transplant. He always used to like to listen to country music. His preference for music changed to classical. And he had to be a partner one day, and he was listening to classical music.
What do you have on?
I'm talking to Martha at the apartment. He laughed about it. We laughed about it.
I'm just happy to be around.
I'm glad it's back to normal. It was hard making it do.
So that donation of organs will be considered more seriously in bereaved families.
We just saw the video, and I'm going to go right over to Miss Virginia. The reason I'm going to her is because she's the other part of this gift. And on December 4th,
December 4th,
1985,
1985.
you received a call. Take us there. Can we go on that journey with you?
You sure can.
Come on, Miss Virginia, bless us.
Okay, I was at work And my husband had, he was in the hospital, and he was going through some things where he thought he was having problems with the kidney. And he thought he was off of the list for a heart transplant. And because of that, I don't exactly know the whole gist of it, but they told him that surgery was a possibility, and he thought he was going to lose a kidney or something. And then they came in, a whole bunch of them, like 15 in the room, just boom, boom, boom. And they says, well, surgery is a definite. And he went, what? And he said, well, yeah, you'll get your heart. And that was a shocker, because he was thinking it was going to be the kidney.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I was on my way over to the hospital after work, and I got to the hospital and I found out then that they were going to do the transplant. And my daughter came in just shortly after that. So we were happy that he had the possibility of living longer. And you know, we never prayed for someone else to die. Right. That was just right on our hearts all the time. But when something happens that somebody loses, and it's a possibility to make one life out of possibly two dying, right, and one to be saved, right, it's a marvel. Yes, it's a marvel. It's wonderful that these things can take place. And I'm so thankful to Martha for being the lady that she is, or lady that she was at the time. Yeah, my husband loved her. Wes loved her a lot. We got a lot of hugs.
Okay.
Went to a lot of potlucks.
Yeah.
Enjoyed each other.
Yes. Now, was at this moment, because the viewers, we all wondering, Miss Virginia, you there, you received a call. Miss Belinda, Mr. John is at work, and please help me with your name, Ashante?
LaShanti.
LaShanti. Mm-hmm. Is everybody at the hospital at the same time?
No.
Okay,
no.
Y'all paint. We going on this. We going on this blessed journey with y'all.
Okay. Wes is at the hospital where the transplant's going to take place.
Okay.
And he's being prepped.
Okay.
And we're all garbed down to go in to see him, because you have to be in sterile garments when you go in to see him, because he's getting ready to be ready for transplant. So the time comes, and you can be with him for a certain length of time, because he's going in for surgery.
Right.
And so that was just something that had to transpire. It was a pleasure to have that happening when it did. My son didn't come till later. He was on his way. He had the car, and I had come up on the bus. So, and I came from Washington State. I came across the river by bus.
Goodness, yes.
And then came up the hill. It's winter time. So I didn't really want to be driving. My son had the car. He was, let's see, Cindy was 12 and he was 16. So he was just getting to, he just got his license and he could drive. So.
Now, Miss Virginia, you at the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Mr. John, you at work. Miss Belinda, y'all get the call that your brother's been shot. Did anybody have any idea that his heart was being been ready to be trans. So share this, because see, we wasn't there. We trying to ride with y'all on this. I know it's powerful.
We didn't know
Yeah.
anything about anybody at all.
Wow.
The whole family, we didn't know anything about until even weeks later.
Oh my goodness.
We didn't know Johnny and Belinda. We didn't know that Martha. We didn't know any of it. The way we got to know, the first time we met them was when they came to the Adventist Church, Sunday Adventist Church, for a fundraiser that the church did for us.
Okay. Now,
And
oh my goodness. Okay, so
Yeah, so Tony,
go ahead. Yes.
you know, so I mean, this was really phenomenal because
Yes.
as you think about
Yes, it
race
is.
relationships in the United States,
Yes.
and you have something like this happen at that time, it was such a shock because we go to the hospital, we know nothing about Wesley Merrill up at University of Oregon Health Sciences.
it wasn't known what nationality he was at all.
Right. We didn't know anything, you know.
Okay.
And so this, you know, so when this happens, it's really phenomenal because it's something that did something for a lot of people.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, when you see this and you hear all the talk amongst people about different things and so forth and about people, different nationalities, but then here you have an opportunity to extend the life of someone, and now this is a whole different thinking process.
Yes.
But it's a blessing at the same time because, I mean, being spiritual people, it showed us something, you know, that God was still in the mix of all of this. We didn't know anything about really the donor program. I mean, it was like everything came at this time. And so it was an opportunity for all of us to grow to another level. And that level took place
now,
at that time.
What was it like? Was y'all there when they was removing the hearts? Anybody visually seen that? Because I just saw it and I was like, that's miraculous.
I could have gone upstairs and watched over the top. I found out later.
Okay.
But I didn't know that was a possibility at the time it was going on. They have a viewing area that can look over the top. That's how they did all the filming and everything.
Yes.
We learned things. Actually, they had the news media was there, and they did the information session after the transplant was finished, and all the doctors were tired and they were worried about the flu and all kinds of things. So, and they were very, very tired because I think this was like at midnight when they finished the transplant.
His birth name is Bobby Lewis Olive.
Right.
Robert was given because it's saying Bob and Robert, but his birth name on his birth certificate is Bobby Lewis Olive.
Thank you. Let's get it right. Right. I appreciate that. Straight talk. It's the show that cares about.
Right, and I want to add in the name Robert came from the police. That's the name that they gave him.
Okay.
Instead of Bobby, they called him Robert.
Okay.
So the name Robert came actually from the Portland police. Am I correct?
Yeah, they started using that name.
Okay, we got the info. We got it right. This is straight talk.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, and we got it right.
Yes.
And so
I'm back.
Hey, Miss Virginia, we're back. We were just sharing a little bit how Mr. Olive got his name from the officers, but that wasn't really his name.
No.
So we got the real name. So please say the real name again.
His name is Bobby Lewis Olive.
Bobby Lewis. And I want to say this right now. Bobby Lewis Olive.
Yes.
Happy belated birthday.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday, Uncle.
Yes, 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 yes. And
If I try clapping, I'll lose my phone.
okay,
I have to just do this, I guess.
yes, but Mr.
The
Virginia,
silent clap.
well, you came in. If you just hold it right there, because Coach John had us at a place where he was describing the moment, the culture at that time. Mr. John, can you go back there with me a little bit
Right.
so our viewers could hear what you was describing, and let's put us in that moment of time, the culture that was going on
Right.
when this phenomenal
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. Yeah. At the time of that, the culture was really incredible because that was the time of the crack epidemic in a lot of the major cities around the country. And of course, employment was an issue. And so, of course, Penny Harrington was the police chief, had a laundry list of negative things to basically say about my brother in terms of some of his past history, things that he had done. But, you know, it was a situation that was really not good in the country, in the inner cities.
Yes.
And how the drugs got in and what happened there is a whole nother story. But anyway, when it happened, when he got killed, and we don't know the full story about that. I did see it on the news that morning. He was on a stretcher and he was being taken out of a place. And so, of course, that was very sad.
Right.
And the key is that when I saw him in that horizontal position at Emmanuel Hospital, and I saw Wesley in the horizontal position at the University of Oregon Health Sciences, I know something significant was going to take place. That was going to seemingly allow medical science to do something that perhaps we in the public should have been doing, especially in the religious realm, is that we had attitudes toward each other, ethnic groups and so forth, that even when they said that this heart could be used in this person and it can match and it can make it work, that in itself was extremely revolutionary in terms of our thinking. It did something for so many of us.
Yes.
Because now my mom and Virginia become like sisters.
Yes.
And I'm going like, we're religious people, but a lot of times they said the most segregated place on earth during the week is our churches. But don't go like, here we are coming together in a situation that was different. That was in itself extremely revolutionary, but extremely powerful. And also to help bring us all to a whole different level, even in our experience. And I think that was extremely significant because
absolutely. And Dr. King said it. He said Sunday.
Yes.
At 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Most segregated time and moment in America. And I'll go right over to Miss Virginia because from my understanding, Miss Virginia, now your husband now received this heart from this Black man, African man, Asiatic, African American, whichever title person choose out there, placed into your husband. Some may say white, Caucasian, whatever title they choose, they're both blessings. My understanding, once your husband got that heart, he done recuperated. Now it's done turned into a culture, anti-culture against you and your husband. Can you go there with us and say how you and your husband's being treated now?
Well, he had nothing to do with understanding the ability. It was a human heart.
Yes.
A human heart.
Yeah.
And all races are human.
Yes.
You can't divide it.
Come on.
We're all human. And a lot of people have not realized that we are all human, no matter whether you're red or yellow, black or white.
That's right.
Brown, orange, you name it. We're all human.
Amen.
And that was a human heart.
Miss Virginia, go ahead and speak to America right now, because what's interesting is that culture, that energy has reared its head again in today's society.
Man.
So
Well, the attitude of the news media, the first question that I was asked after that news session with the doctors all left, and the news media came to ask me questions. The first question that was asked was, I'd hate to even say it. It was not nice.
right, we get the picture.
It was the attitude of the news media, and I hate to tell you, it wasn't nice, and I was shocked. I didn't even know that it had come from a Black man, and that wasn't something that was even considered. You know, back then we didn't know what to do with you know, how could that be, you know? But when they're telling me that it was the heart of a Black man, the way they came about it was, what do you think of the fact that your husband got the heart of a Black man? See, they didn't discuss that in the meeting when the doctors were there.
Right. Okay.
The first question was asked, what do you think of the fact that your husband received the heart of a thief? And I hate to say it, why? And I was shocked.
Right.
I was literally shocked by the attitude, and I wanted out.
Right. And that
I
was,
wanted out. I didn't want to answer any more questions.
yeah.
That was, and the some of the other people that were in the media said she needs to get out. She needs to, you know, have a different attitude than that. And that's, you know, I just put it on hold. If you want to ask me questions, don't ask me questions like that.
Absolutely. I will bless you.
Because
Yes.
my attitude, when I was in high school, I roomed with Black kids in the dorm, and I had a friend from Bolivia that I roomed with for a while, Dorita, and and Yvette was a friend of mine when I was a child. I had Black friends all the time, and to me, everybody is human. We're all human.
Yeah.
You can't divide it.
Yeah.
Said interesting because Mr. John was just speaking about the culture at that time, and the first question you get, it's about that. What did it feel like for your husband to get? Go ahead, Mr. John. You was going to share.
No, I mean, that's true. And it was interesting that I read a book by Greg Bratton on the heart. The heart has a brain. And I was going like, wow, because Belinda had asked Virginia a few things about her husband's appetites, desires, and so forth.
Right.
And it was interesting to note in Greg Bratton's book, and he wrote one of the books called Isaiah Effect, and this other book, I forgot the name of it, but he was talking about how the heart had a brain. And some of the things that Wesley developed an appetite for was, I think, was certain music. And I was going like, how is that? And it made me think about that book. And then it was a desire for certain things, and I'm like, did that heart that he received create a desire for certain things? That's amazing. I was like, wow.
I have no understanding of that kind of thing.
Yes.
Because the music that he used to listen to, he usually listened to country western.
Okay.
And he started enjoying the classical.
Yes.
Classical. What are you listening to? I mean, he's listening to things that sound like cartoons.
Right.
You know, the cartoon music.
Right.
Wow.
I'm going, okay, that's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. Now, Miss Belinda, just hearing this, how's this? Reflect on this, because Miss Virginia said the first time everybody met was at a fundraiser.
Yes.
What was that like?
And actually, I was not there.
Okay.
I know my mother was there, and John, I believe he was there with her.
Okay.
But I was not there.
Okay. Okay. Coach John.
Actually, there were two different times.
Okay.
There were two different times that we met each other.
Okay.
And I was thinking that the first time that I met any family was at the fundraiser. I hadn't met Martha until then.
Okay.
Or I hadn't met the let's see, Herbert and Johnny. No, it wasn't Johnny. It was the other brother.
Brian?
Yeah, well, it was
Brian.
two brothers and Martha came to the church.
Herbert and John.
And they kind of did a funny thing. They came late. And everybody's waiting for them to get there. So they really, it was cute to have it happen. And I was sitting up towards the front, so they had to go clear through the church, and it's a big church.
Right.
It holds like 2,000 people. So.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Virginia, were we at the Meadow Glade Church?
Yep.
Yeah.
Meadow Glade.
It was Meadow Glade. Meadow Glade.
Was that you that came?
Yeah. I came to Meadow Glade, Seventh-day Adventist Church.
It was Johnny and Herbert and Mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about that,
my memory isn't real good on that one.
The unique thing about this also, Tony, is that we were both, and this was really unusual in this situation.
Yeah.
Both my parents, as well as Virginia and them, we were Seventh-day Adventists.
Yeah.
That was different.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, wow, that's amazing. We're both Seventh-day Adventists. And
Yes.
that was incredible. The Adventists, of course, we have a lot of Adventist churches here in the Northwest in Oregon, at least in Oregon, and of course in Washington too. But it was interesting that we were both Seventh-day Adventists too, and that was very unique. Very unique.
John,
and I had come to the Sharon Church often.
Okay.
Because I like the services there.
Yeah.
Now, Coach John, what was it like for you that moment when you came to the church? And I mean, what was that feeling like? I mean,
well, like I say, it was, it was different because you notice this is something that, I mean, a lot of people they were thinking it. Obviously they were going like, wow.
Yes.
I mean, has medical science told us something that we really needed to know a long time ago?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
we needed to know this.
You see what I'm saying? It's like
Yes.
they recognize that humans can really benefit each other, and all the various things that we have blocking our relationships is kind of
attitudes.
It's kind of ignorant to a certain extent because we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are born with things that are against our best interests. Mm-hmm. And so it's like it helped people to think, and all types of thoughts are thought, but it's like it could bring us to a whole nother level. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons my sister got really busy and became a part of the donor program, because the donor program, they don't look at skin.
Right.
That's not the issue. It's with what's within is what the issue really is.
Well, they have to go by blood type.
Right.
And by size.
Right. Yeah. But the outer part don't matter.
No.
It's the inner part, and that's where the true value of what people are in the first place. We put too much emphasis on the outer part when the inner part is the real thing.
Wes was so healthy after he had his transplant right away.
Okay.
Right away. I was surprised. Yeah. I was there at the hospital the whole time, and he was extubated right quickly, probably even 6 hours after he had his transplant.
Wow.
So he was able to talk and everything right away. I could go in and see him, and he could talk. It was kind of funny. He saw they had their head kind of tied down to a board or something to make it so he can't move right then. until he, you know, certain things have to happen, and he can't look past all the gear that's on his face. He can only see something that, and he thought this little guy had a real boring job of standing there watching him. He said, boy, I think that guy's got a real boring thing going on down there. And it ended up being a breathing bag hanging on the back of the bottom of the bed.
And Tony, when they brought the heart to the hospital,
Yes.
I mean, because they kind of showed that on the news, you know, transferring, going to the hospital, getting in the room, and as soon as they put it in and shocked it, boom, boom, that was it. It wasn't several times. It like it took place. It was like, wow.
Look at
So that was remarkable.
Wow. Now
it's interesting how they didn't know anything about our side, and we didn't know anything about their side.
Right.
But we learned real quickly to care about the other side.
That's beautiful.
We learned real quickly.
Now, did you hear that, America?
Yeah.
And I want to. Sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I just wanted to bring up, or I wanted to actually ask, because I remember growing up because I want to say that if it's been 35 years ago that this has happened, I am 40 something. So when I look back at how old I was, right? How when I look back at my age at that particular time, I was 12, 13 years old.
Wow.
Okay.
You were Cindy's age. You were Cindy's age.
Yeah.
And I remember the phone call, and I remember, but then I also remember like so vividly that my grandmother would, in her stories that we would talk about, she said that when she made the decision for Uncle's heart to be donated, she said that she wanted to meet the family.
Wants to meet the family, yes.
And I want to say at that time, I'm not for sure.
They weren't doing it.
At that time, they didn't do that, right?
They weren't. They didn't share any information in the news stuff. They just told them no, we can't give you any information. Wow. The first that I knew, and they didn't really know then either. It was kind of found out by hook or by crook under the because we were both at the Adventist.
Okay.
That Lyle and Sharon Pierce were helping out, and they knew your side because he played basketball with Herbert, I guess, or one of the boys.
John.
Yeah. Johnny? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that's how I found out about a little more. And then we had some of the family members over to the apartment. We weren't supposed to, but we did it.
Right. Oh my God. Now, Mr. John, Coach John, you spoke about both of your sisters are involved with the donor program. Can either one of you share a little bit about the donor program and what that's all about and what that process is?
Yeah, Belinda can share that because she really got involved.
Ms. Belinda, please.
She's been involved from day one.
Yes.
She's been involved from day one.
Oh, bless
and this past November, I received the Royce Award, Lifetime Award, because I've been volunteering for 35 years.
Absolutely.
And I've met so many interesting people through this journey.
Yeah.
And one thing I would like to say is every 2 years, there's they have like the Olympics. Okay, somewhere in America, they have Olympics where it's the people that receive transplants. They're in these races, swimming and running and all this. And I've attended 2 of them. I attended one in Louisville, Kentucky, and then I went to another one in Pennsylvania. And if you believe in heaven on earth,
yes,
that was the place to be. That was the place to be because everybody was just so happy to be alive.
Yes.
And they wasn't complaining. I mean, no negativity. I mean, it was a beautiful
Wow.
experience. I mean, it was like 10,000, over 10,000 people that was there. I mean, and it was amazing. So if anyone have an opportunity to go to one of these events, I would suggest that. Is amazing.
Yes.
And what's the name of the organization, Mom?
It's Donate Life, but it's
Okay.
they have like the Olympics, but it's for people that have received transplants, and
Right.
they're in these different races, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Miss LaShante,
Yes.
being quote unquote the youngest of us all,
Quote unquote.
quote unquote, right?
Absolutely.
Say a little bit about, because you talk about the phone call, that you remember that, and then sitting at your grandmother's feet while she's sharing the stories about your uncle. What was that like for you, and what is it like for you today? Seeing how involved your mother is with the donors.
Well, growing up in a family, growing up in a family where there was a certain period of time in my life where I lived with my grandmother, and my grandmother, she never, there was so many things, like for instance, the word can't.
Yes.
That word was not that word was not okay in the house. That word was not used in the house. There was no you better not ever say that you cannot or you can't do something. That was not okay at all. That was not, I mean, you would get, my grandmother had that look, she had that stare. My grandmother had that, if you were not acting correctly in church, if you were not acting correctly when you went to anybody's house or in public, if you did not act correctly, she could just look at you. And
That was Martha.
She could just look at you,
right,
and you are going to get yourself fully together. You go, I mean, that's just, and my grandmother, she grew up, she's from Mississippi, she's from the South.
Yes.
But one thing, being in this home, I was never taught about not loving someone because of the color of their skin. We were not taught that at all. We were taught that if people didn't like you based on the color of your skin, we just gonna pray for them.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just gonna pray.
Yes.
Gonna pray for them, right?
It's a prayer.
And so we just gonna pray. It's something wrong with them that they don't love. You know what I mean? That they don't love each other. That we don't love each other. There's something wrong with them. We just gonna pray for them.
Yes. Wow.
That's how it was.
That's how it
was. And so I remember, my grandmother, I want to say at the time she was a teacher at Boise Elliott. And I remember I was going to Boise Elliott at the time. And I remember that Uncle Wesley had came to the school.
She invited him.
And my grandmother, I remember her speaking about Wesley and Virginia as Wesley is her son and Virginia is her daughter. And we did now we're doing family things together. Now we were meeting Virginia's children. And it was, we were blended in so many ways now that it was a blessing beyond a blessing. But then I think about the fact that my grandmother at the time that she's hearing this news of her son.
Yes.
From the time that she hears the news from her son, I don't know, was it within hours or was it within minutes that my grandmother hears that her son, or she knows that her son is brain dead, to the point that she made the decision. Think about the pain that would be.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right?
That's
Think
gotta
about the
be
pain
hard.
that she gets the news of that, and then she takes that thought and says, I'm gonna go ahead. I want to go ahead. How long do you think that was? I don't even know how long that
It was a
decision.
short time.
Short time?
Less than 5 minutes.
Yes, real
Wow.
quick,
Yeah.
real quick.
5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes. And then she said, and there probably was that look. She said, I'm gonna go ahead and decide to say yes, but I want to know who is getting my son's heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
She wanted a relationship.
She wanted a relationship.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's what we got.
Yes.
We did.
And we got to know each other pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Both
Absolutely.
of us have blended families now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, and
And Tony, I mean, this is
Go ahead.
very spiritual because when you think about it, he died that someone may live.
yes,
Oh.
The thing about Christ,
Yeah.
Yeah.
same thing.
right. Yeah. And you know, somewhere I read it said
Powerful.
your gift will make a way for you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Beautiful.
And
Yeah.
when I sit, I can feel the energy through
Mhm.
this moment, the love
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
all of you have for each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it needs to be resonated in the world, not
That's
not
right.
here, in
You're
the
right.
world.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Miss Virginia.
This is beautiful. I'm loving seeing Johnny. I
Yeah.
haven't seen him for a while,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and everybody's looking good.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Mhm.
Miss Belinda, can you share the first moment that you met Miss Virginia?
She was my sister. We've been close. I mean,
Yeah.
we love each other.
Yeah.
She moved away. She used to live here in Vancouver for a long time, and we connected. We did so many things together. And I mean, I love her. I miss her. I told her I'm gonna have to come back there to see her in Kansas when the weather's better.
Okay.
But yeah, me and her, I mean, we're close.
Yeah, we're having a blizzard right now.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's not good out here. We got a lot of snow and ice, and yeah, we having a hard time out here. Is it minus 13 still where you are?
I think it's minus 30.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's minus
that's
30.
Mercy.
We had a blizzard, and
Yikes.
the snow drifts. It's the
Ooh.
powdery kind, and it just blows.
Oh my goodness.
So
Goodness.
yeah,
Oh.
it was up to
30.
it was up like 3 feet on the doors. They had to come
Ooh.
dig us out.
Oh my
The
goodness.
poor guy that had to do that shoveling today. I live in a four. There's four.
Mm.
Actually, it's 3 buildings that have 4 in them. 12 apartments in the complex, and they come out and do the shoveling. That guy had his when it finally settled down about 5 o'clock, then he could come and he even salted the sidewalks afterwards so we could get in and out.
Man, that's
But
yeah.
it's supposed to
thought
do
we
it
had
again
that.
tonight.
Ooh.
It's supposed to do it again tonight, so that guy's going to be doing that over again.
Wow.
Stay
But when I
safe.
come visit, it has to be in the summertime.
We've got
safe.
one open apartment. There's
Oh.
one apartment that doesn't have anybody in it.
Okay. All right.
You know, just sitting here listening.
Tell your black friends that they live in Kansas they can get an apartment here.
No. All right.
Just listening to how y'all, you could tell there that love and that respect and that's just that togetherness. Just listen to y'all conversate. Just
Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
it's so
We pick on each other too, though.
yes, but that's what families do, though, right?
Yep, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we close, I'd like for each one of you just to share something with America.
Yeah.
With America. And
Yeah.
I'm going to take it beyond that because it's bigger than us, with the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
we'll start with Miss Virginia, and then we'll go to Miss Belinda, and then we'll go to the coach, and then we'll go to Miss LaShante. Did I say that correct?
LaShanti.
LaShante. Put a T on it, she said.
LaShanti.
She put a twist to a T. Get it right.
LaShanti.
Yeah, LaShante. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Virginia, please.
Okay. My feelings are that we're all waiting for the great judgment day to come, and Jesus is going to return soon.
Yeah.
And the people who have died, Martha and Johnny, Martha and Bobby and Wes, that great getting up morning is coming, and they're all going to wake up.
Amen.
The sound of the trumpet is Jesus is going to wake up the dead.
Amen.
And the dead in Christ will rise, and we'll all go together. It's 1 Thessalonians 4, and start with the verse 13
Right.
through 18.
That's
It
right.
tells you exactly what's going to happen.
Amen.
And we're waiting for Jesus to come to wake up the dead. We're going to get him back.
Amen.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
Miss Belinda. who you-
Yes. And I'm a poet and I know it.
Oh, yeah,
Uh-oh. Careful.
You know, we gonna hear something really special.
Oh, okay.
The title of this song
He's
is,
got some good ones.
this title of this song is My Mama Told Me. Come on, Miss Belinda.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. I wrote this book in memory of my mother. The title of it is My Mama Told Me, whoever you give your money to, you give them power over you.
Oh, come on.
So, and my mother was no joke. She was no joke. And like my daughter said, in that household, you better not say you can't do something. She ain't going for it. She said, I don't ever want that word coming out your mouth, talking about what you can't do. No, you're going to do, you have to have a will to do something. You have to have a will. It ain't no such thing as I can't do something. She didn't want to hear that. So I wrote this book in memory of her. She passed, guess what? She passed that year that she passed, January the 16th, 2012. That was Martin Luther King's holiday, that Monday morning when my mama passed.
Oh my.
And I think about her and what Martin Luther King said, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said, I have a dream that one day, the children will be able to walk hand in hand and love each other. And what she did as far as donating her son's heart, she was not selfish. She wanted to teach the world that we are all God's children. We just have different colors of our skin, our pigment, but we are all human beings, and we were made in the image of God. And she wanted us to be the best people that we could be to each other. Yeah. So this is one of my thoughts, is we haven't arrived at being 100% human being until we want for our brother and sister what we want for ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Send that to me, Linda.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Because we got to hear, my mama told me. We got to hear what she told you.
So, my mama told me, whoever you give your money to, you give them power over you.
Oh my God. Now, go ahead.
Okay, you and I.
Yes.
Where are you and I? Separation versus integration. I go to the store to buy the necessities of life. I don't see you. I see everybody else working. I only see you buying and consuming. Where's all the money going? It's not going back into our pockets or our banks. My mama told me, whoever you give your money to, you give them power over you.
Oh, my mama told me.
I go to the restaurant or the fast food chain to get something to eat. Oh, what a treat. I don't see you. I see everybody else working. You're eating, consuming, paying for your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Where's all the money going? It's not going back into your pockets or your banks. My mama told me, whoever you give your money to, you give them power over you. Wherever I go, I see everyone else except you. I spend my money with everyone else except my people or myself. Am I missing something? When and how did this happen? Have we been living or have we been sleepwalking? When did we die? Who told us that lie about integration? Who said what's yours is mine? Is that why we don't have anything we can call our own? Why do we exist? Did we miss the unity that we had? Why are we here? God said, have no fear, because Satan end is near. My mama told me, whoever you give your money to, you give them power over you. Hey, brothers and sisters, it's time to come together, become part of the movement before everything is taken away from you and I. My mama told me, whoever you give your money to, you also give them power over you. I go to the bank. I don't see you working. You're depositing your hard-earned money, but when you want to take some out or take out a loan, it comes back denied, bad credit. Why? Was it bad money management, or was it last hired, first fired? My mama told me, do something for yourself. Create your own job. Save your money. Buy real estate. Stop spending your money on bling bling, wasting money on things that don't mean anything, because when this life is all over, you cannot take it with you. We need to rethink what should be important. Memories. What will you leave behind for your future generations? Will it be talk or will it be accomplishments? My mama told me talk is cheap. You can say anything, but action speaks. Action speaks louder than words. I go to work only if I'm fortunate to have a job. I don't see you as my supervisor, manager, or CEO. I see the same people in charge. Things haven't changed too much since I was a child. My mama told me, if you do not exercise your rights, we could end up enslaved again. What are you going to do? If we continue going down this same road, things will only get worse. We will become extinct. What woulda, coulda, shoulda will not matter. I am not talking about chains and whips. I'm talking about your mind. You do not have to be physically enslaved when your mind is controlled by someone or something and it's over for you. Because you can't think for yourself. Someone else is thinking and controlling you. My mama told me, do not follow the crowd, be a leader. Think for yourself. God gave you a brain and use it. Because if you don't, you will lose it. My mama told me, think big, don't think small. Remember, whoever you give your money to, you will continue in giving them power over you.
Oh, my mama told.
Wow.
Yes.
Mama
My
told you.
goodness,
All
my
right.
goodness, my goodness. Miss Martha told us. She said, Miss
Yeah.
Martha said, my mama told, that was Miss Martha that told you, whoever you give your money to, you give your power to. Now, y'all go get that book where y'all can mentally get off the plantation.
Yeah.
Okay? 'Cause that,
Yeah. That's
ooh, my
deep.
mama told. I mean, you touched on so much right there. I could see a play. I could see somebody putting that into a song.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Powerful, powerful. I love it.
Mama told me,
My
whoever
mama
you give your
told
money to,
Yes.
that's who you give your power to.
That's
deep.
true. It's true.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
deep.
Man.
Oh,
That's deep.
Coach John, come on, Coach John.
Yeah.
She dropped the mic. You got to
Yeah,
follow
she dropped
her.
the mic.
I ain't
Don't
got to
be.
follow her.
Yeah, I ain't gonna follow that. That was a lot of nuggets in that. But I know the big talk now is, Trump was talking about it, make America great again. That's a question mark. I think, in light of all what we shared today,
Yes.
that is something we can work toward. Is not necessarily make America great again, but to make America great, period.
Yes.
And how do we do that? Some major challenges. We just talked about that in terms of what science has showed us through this whole heart situation.
Yes.
And how does it deal with attitudes? Because we're on the brink of either falling apart, as Martin Luther King said in his book, where do we go from here? And that's a big question. Where do we go from here? And how are we gonna change and make America great? I think that we got to do is make Americans great, not necessarily America, but Americans great. Going back to what Barack said in 2008, this is a yes, we can moment.
Yes.
But how do we move this moment forward? We can only do this by love. We can only do this by love. And the good book tells us, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. But Christ himself, he laid down, even though we were not friends with him. The Bible says in Romans 5:8 that he commended his love toward us while we were yet sinners. He was willing to give his life for us. And my brother, although this didn't happen, he foresaw something happening because he told my mom prior to this happening that he saw something that revealed that he had got shot in the head. And it made him very nervous. So I don't know if that was a setup to let him know something was going to take place, but he was exonerated in the end because rather than all the negative things that Penny Harrington had to say about him, who was a police chief at the time, he was exonerated in the end. So basically I'm saying that there's still hope for us, but that hope lies in the love that we can have for each other, because Jesus said in John 13:35, that by this will all men know that you are my disciples. And what was this? Is the love that you have for one another. We read 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter. It's the chapter on love. And it ends up by saying, love never fails. That's what we have to work into our hearts, because it got to be totally unselfish and not related to our skin color, but let us develop the character to be the light of the world that Jesus told us about and be the salt of the earth. That's what he's looking for. And America needs now for real people who are godly to stand up. Because if we don't stand up for him now in this time of crisis, we're going to be going the wrong direction. So the challenge is to learn to love and let love be in the flesh. In other words, when he said that that God commended in John 1, it said, and God's word became flesh and dwelt among us. So in other words, we can't go somewhere and hide and be the light that God has called us to be. We got to interject. We got to be here. We got to be here in the flesh and demonstrate that, especially for one another, because they say there's two people in this world that really don't like black people. And they say that's white people and black people. We need to love ourselves. And it's imperative that when we love ourselves, we will gain greater respect, because we'll be demonstrating the love that we need to share with each other and build each other up, and other people will love us because we love ourselves too. So that's what I had to say.
Oh my goodness. See, I see this is another show. This is another show. My mama told me, and then I'm going to come home preach. Oh my goodness. Mr. Asante. Come on,
Right.
Mr. Asante.
Right.
Follow that.
Right.
Yes.
Tony Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
Tony Brown.
Yes,
Brown. Okay, so first let me do this. I know that I have went to a Toastmaster class. My uncle Johnny, which is Coach John.
Yes.
He introduced me to a Toastmaster class.
Yes.
Okay? Because his niece, I don't know if he knows for sure, but his niece, I like to talk. I do. I like to talk. And so I know that I'm going to be timed. I don't have a stopwatch. So I don't know how long, and I don't want to go over. Okay. So
how many minutes?
Right.
About 5 minutes.
Right.
About
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
And we'll bring it back.
So
we'll
5 minutes. Okay, cool, Mom. You make sure I'm good. Okay, make sure I'm cool. Okay. So 5 minutes. Okay. So See, I was just so excited to talk. Okay, so I don't even, what was the question?
What's your comment?
What comment?
Comments.
Okay, so I'm going to say that my grandmother, which is Martha Lee Van Arsdale, my grandmother, she passed away in 2000 and 2012.
12, right.
2012. 2012. And but my grandmother, she had Alzheimer's and she had dementia. And so that was, a battle for our family as well. But like I said, through all of that, I'm so happy that I was born into a family. Now you think about how things in life, they happen for a reason. Nothing is ever by coincidence.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know. Well, I can say this. My last name, my mother's last name is Olive.
Yes.
Now, in those words, it is, you can spell out I love.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I
Right.
love,
Yeah.
Come on.
right?
Yes.
Right.
And Olive is spelled I love.
I love.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm so blessed
Yes.
to be related, to have the DNA that's flowing through my bone, that's flowing through my what's my joints, to have the blood
Your arteries.
that is, there you go. Look at the mama. See, look, the arteries,
Yes.
the blood that's flowing through my arteries.
Yes.
I swear on everything I love. It has been such a blessing to be able to be in the family that I am in. We have learned and we are learning to love and share moments and share our gratitude, right? And then there's sometimes where Coach John, when he said Coach John, Coach, that name is so serious in our family too, because he has been the mediator.
Okay. Okay.
He's a mediator. Like if anything things might, get at, things in families, things, you know what I mean? Sometimes, but
Yes.
my Uncle Johnny has been the one in our family that he's the mediator. He's calm. He says, don't get too wrapped up in your emotions because people's emotions change.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
That's, look,
That's right.
look.
Keep it real.
See what I mean? So I'm learning. My Uncle Johnny, he has taught me so many things. But like I want to say before I get off track,
Okay.
I am so blessed to be a part of a family that we have a woman that raised 8 children. Grandma had 8 children. Grandmother was a foster mother.
Mhm.
Grandmother was a teacher.
Mhm.
Grandmother even took care of some of us grandchildren.
Mhm.
And grandma, at that moment, I swear, if I knew how long it was that grandma it took to make that decision, for that pain that grandma felt, and then to be able to make that decision to bless somebody else and their family and their loved ones.
Right.
Yes.
Without a selfish second by any means. And for us to have met and for us to be joined, I most definitely feel that in 2021, if others have not heard the story, I would be so honored to be able to tell the story that we are the family of true example. We are a family of true example of what love looks like, your actions that you make when you say you love,
Amen.
the actions that you take when you know love.
Yeah. Amen.
My goodness. Oh, well, I would be blessed to bring each one of you back, because there's more for each one of you to pour into this cup of this universe.
Mhm.
And it'll be an honor. Miss Virginia, we sent out. She didn't make it back, but that's okay. She shared us a word.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Coach, we appreciate you so much. Miss Belinda,
Yes.
my mama told me. Right. My mama
That's right. Told you.
My mama
Right.
told me.
Yeah, who you
Yes,
give your money
yes,
to.
Yes, yes. And Miss LaShante, we can see. They said the fruit don't fall far from the tree.
Mercy.
Ooh, see, now you're gonna make me blush. Now you're gonna make me blush,
Okay.
Brother Brown. Come
Yes,
on, you're gonna
ma'am.
make me blush.
Yes, ma'am. So, brother engineer, we appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
He's a teacher too, and I know he got his students he got to work with in the morning. But please,
Thank
let's
you.
stay in touch. This is just the beginning of the journey, and you have a platform. Absolutely. Y'all be
Right.
blessed. One love, and please stay in touch with us. It's been a blessing. This is another edition of Straight Talk TV, and we show us the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. Be blessed. Thank you so much.
Can I
Take
ask you
care.
a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we go back and look at this? Or this
Okay,
is it?
what's going to happen once the brother engineer's over with? He's going to do all the links. He's going to convert it. He's going to send it to me. I'm going to start putting a little something to it, and you'll have it for the family for generation to generation.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Appreciate it.
Beautiful. It's a blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank
Yeah,
you for
thank you.
having us.
It's a
God
blessing.
bless you.
You
God
will
bless.
be back. We're
right.
going to do this some more, because it's a lot of information that you need to, I won't use need like that, but that needs to be poured into the cup of the universe that each
Yeah.
one of you have.
Amen.
Absolutely.
It's time. It's time.
Amen. It's time.
It's time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Brother Tony.
Absolutely.
My blessings. Y'all be safe and take care and stay warm.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bless you too.
Love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Back
Okay.
at you. Peace.
Okay.
Nice
Take care.
job tonight, guys. It was a real good show.
Thank you.
Enjoyed
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Brother
you.
Steve,
Okay.
the best engineer in the world, Brother Steve.
Ooh, Brother Steve. Thank you, Brother Steve.
Thank you, ladies. It was a pleasure
you.
tonight. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. Bye-bye.
We want to thank Miss Belinda, Coach John, LaShanti, the family of Bobby, A.K. BoBo, Lewis Olive, the first heart transplant in the state of Oregon. This man's heart was placed into someone else's body. We had the family on tonight. You are listening and you're watching Straight Talk TV. It's the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. Be blessed, take care, and give somebody some love and spread love in the land. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Let us march on till victory
Yes, yes.
is won. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing